Buckle up. We're fast approaching our Seahawks channel here at Fast Sports. When I started here, I think we were about 4,000 subs down. We're within 1,500 subscribers. Go down, hit that big red subscribe button, and help me out. Dolphins Today is presented by Aura, a all-in-one digital safety tool. If you go to aura.com/chatsports, that's where you can begin your 14-day free trial. On today's show, we're going to be talking about some Dolphins training camp winners and losers. I am Will Scott. This is Dolphins Today, and now we have 5 Dolphins training camp practices in the books. We're going to be breaking down who won, who lost, and we begin with the clear winner, Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle has been absolutely outstanding the entire training camp thus far. Clear winner of training camp. He was wearing the orange practice jersey, and you know what? If they have given this guy the orange practice jersey 5 consecutive days, he would have deserved it. He has looked sensational. Here's what Sports Illustrated said about Waddle. Wide receiver Jaylen Waddle wore the orange jersey as the best practice player for Wednesday and had himself another impressive outing. He caught 6 passes in team drills and another passing period where 5 receivers went out against 9 defenders. Waddle's first catch was an impressive grab off a long pass from Teddy Bridgewater where he outjumped rookie corner Kader Kohou. Now that pass that they're referencing, that catch, was one of the best catches that I have ever seen at an NFL training camp. This guy went airborne, came down with it. I mean, it looked like it was photoshopped. It was absolutely ridiculous, Waddle going airborne for that catch. And I think he's going to have a huge year because when you look at what he did last year, he had a sensational rookie season, was one of 2 rookie receivers that had over 1,000 receiving yards with Jamar Chase, 6 touchdowns. He was doing that against CB1s. Now with Tyreek Hill on this team, imagine what he's going to do against CB2s. Plus, Waddle's just going to be even better than he was last year. If you're excited to watch Jaylen Waddle, go down and type Penguin down in the chat. Producer Jeremy Chuggs and I wrote that Penguin song, if you remember, a couple back, and he waddled away till the very next play. Bop, 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 bada, bop. Type Penguin down in the chat. Better yet, if you're on your iPhone, go and type the Penguin emoji down in the chat for a chance to shout out in the next show. We're all about Penguin here on Dolphins Today. Staying with wide receivers, Braylon Sanders has been a very pleasant surprise in training camp thus far. He's been a big winner of training camp, and when you look at this wide receiver depth chart, you're not really looking at Sanders as a guy that might make the team, but my goodness, he is making a case for himself. He's definitely been the most impressive undrafted free agent at training camp, a UDFA out of Ole Miss. Here's what David Furones reported from practice the other day. Okay, Braylon Sanders made an insane one-handed catch in one-on-one and did the gritty afterwards. Sanders feeling good about himself. This coming from Omar Kelly. Braylon Sanders just caught a one-handed back shoulder catch during one-on-one. I've learned his name and number. Some of you know what that means. Shout out to you, Omar Kelly. So a lot of people high on Braylon Sanders, including Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. Undrafted Mississippi receiver Braylon Sanders, who caught a long pass on Friday, made a remarkable one-handed catch for a 35-yard touchdown on a pass from Skylar Thompson in quarterback receiver DB drills on Saturday. Sanders is giving himself a chance to make this team. It's absolutely wild. You look at the depth at the wide receiver position. I don't think any of us thought Sanders had a chance to get a spot on this roster, but when you read about Sanders, he's making plays from every single quarterback. Skylar Thompson, Tua, Teddy, he is making plays regardless of who's throwing him the football. We don't even have room for him on this wide receiver depth chart graphic after the signing of Mohamed Sanu. But you look at this, you see that 6 or 7 wide receivers are going to make this team. So not everyone on this list is going to make the team. But Trent Sherfield, River Craycraft, Lynn Bowden Jr., Mohamed Sanu are nervous because of how good Braylon Sanders has been in camp. Now, is he going to make the team? Type M for make or type W for won't down in the comment section. Go down, predict it. It is the pinned comment on today's video. When ad break comes, go down, chime in. Is he going to make this team? I think maybe because of his special teams value. Speaking of wide receivers again, are you seeing a trend here? Wide receivers have looked outstanding at training camp. That includes Tyreek Hill, one of the newest members of this Dolphins team. He's wearing the orange practice jersey today, so that means that he won the practice player of the day on Saturday, which, of course, was where the fans showed up. It was coming back together Saturday or whatever the NFL called it, but he got the fans all fired up. It was unbelievable, that pep talk that he was giving the fans prior to that training camp practice. He was like, get your popcorn ready. He did a backflip too, right, Chuck? So he has been really fun to follow, obviously, throughout the offseason with his podcast. And so he's wearing the orange practice player of the jersey today. Makes him a clear winner of training camp. We're continuing with our orange jersey tracker here on Dolphins Today. We did this during minicamp. We did this during OTA. So first practice, Jaylen Waddle won it. Second practice was Eichenberg, then Holland, then Hill. This is that talk that Tyreek was giving the fans on Saturday in Miami Gardens. Can we get a hell yeah? Thank you guys for coming out. It's going to be electric. We need your energy. Get your popcorn ready, says Tyreek Hill. I think he's already the face of this franchise. Would you agree, Producer Chugs, that Tyreek Hill is already the face of this franchise when he hasn't even taken a snap yet? I know a lot of y'all are probably saying, well, no, I think Tua is the face of this franchise. And I think you can make an argument for that as well. But when you look at what Tyreek has done throughout the offseason, kind of not really, I don't know what the wording I would use here, but just defending his team and just buying into the team is something that's been really impressive, and he's certainly drawn a lot of attention to the Dolphins already. Speaking of attention, you got to give some attention to Aura, because Aura is going to keep your identity secure with extensive monitoring of your personal info. You're going to get real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. That's the link right there, aura.com/chatsports. That's going to allow you to shop, bank, and work online more safely and privately. You can start your 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports. That link is going to be in the comments and the description of this video. Again, aura.com/chatsports. Let's talk about Liam Eichenberg, who is going to transition to the left guard position. He was the starting right tackle last year, kind of struggled at that position, but he's the practice player of the day from the second practice, making the transition to left guard, a position that he really doesn't have a whole lot of experience in. So he's a starting tackle last year. Now he's making the transition to the guard position. I think it's a great sign that he was the practice player of the day, right? He struggled last year. He's playing a position that he has no experience. So it is good that he is making strides and making improvement throughout the offseason program. He is slated right now to be the starting left guard because you have Connor Williams at center. You move Williams from left guard to center. Austin Jackson going to be the right tackle. Teron Armstead, the new left tackle on this football team. So this offensive line, pretty unpredictable in terms of how it's going to look, I would say, by the start of the season. They could still bring somebody else in. They might sign a center. We'll see, especially with Deiter injured. We'll talk about him in a second. But right now, Eichenberg, the starting left guard on this team. Before we get into our next winner, go down, hit me up on Twitter at WillScott44. Always enjoy hearing from Fins fans in my DMs and my replies. Go and hit me up at WillScott44 on Twitter. Get me with a follow. Tua Tagovailoa is the next winner we're going to talk about here, and he has looked sensational in the first week of training camp. You'll hear all the reports coming out of Miami Gardens. He is starting to prove everyone wrong. I wouldn't even say starting to prove I wouldn't even say that because he's been doing that all offseason long. Here's what Travis Wingfield, who works for the Dolphins, said. It's a 65-yard TD pass from Tua to Tyreek, off-play pass, 55 air yards. But wait, I thought Tua couldn't throw the deep ball. 55 air yards, absolute dime. Fans are losing their minds. Tua chance breaking out. Sharp football broke down that play. Check. Tyreek Hill, pre-snap motion, play action, over 50 air yards. Ball hit Tyreek Hill in stride. No, he did not stop and come back for the football. It got him in stride. 65-yard Tua Tagovailoa touchdown. You love to see it, says Warren Sharp. But hey, I didn't see this throw trending on Twitter. I didn't see this on SportsCenter. I didn't see this on Bleacher Report. I didn't see this in Sports Illustrated. I didn't see this on SB Nation. I didn't see this on NFL Network. People are not talking about it, but Tua, a couple weeks back at OTAs, underthrows one ball, and it gets 8 million views, and it's the trending topic on Twitter for 48 straight hours. But when Tua throws a 60-yard dime down the hill to Tyreek Hill, nobody is talking about it. Tell me about that. I'm confused. Barry Jackson, what do you have to say? He had another good day about Tua Tagovailoa, delivering a 45-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill on a crossing route, as well as the aforementioned long TD pass to Ezukanma. You're seeing a trend here, a lot of long touchdowns, and a 35-yard TD pass to Jaylen Waddle over the middle. All three of those plays involved some run after the catch. He overthrew 2 passes to begin practice today. This is from today, what Barry Jackson is saying. And threw an interception late in practice to Trell Williams, Syracuse guy, go Qs, who made a one-handed catch in the corner of the end zone. There appeared to be a miscommunication between Tagovailoa and Waddle on the play, allowing Williams an opportunity to intercept it. So outside of that one throw, it was a really good day for Tua today, and it's been a really good training camp for Tua Tagovailoa. And I think a lot of people are seeing the confidence and the poise that Tua is having. I think you can credit that to Mike McDaniel and also to Tua, but a lot of that goes to McDaniel as well. Let's talk about some losers. Michael Deiter has been probably the biggest loser of the Dolphins offseason. I mean, I'm starting to feel bad for this kid. He's just been really, really unfortunate, some of the things that have happened throughout the last year, because he obviously had that foot injury last year. He missed 9 games, starting center last year. He's missed the last several practices with the foot injury, and as I discussed in my at-home video over the weekend, we do not know the severity of that injury yet. I thought we'd have an update by now. We don't. That's something to monitor. He's been seen in a walking boot at training camp. But imagine being in Deiter's shoes. You just got benched for a guy that has no experience at that position. Like, imagine if you lose your job, right, to somebody that has no experience doing your job. That's what just happened to Michael Deiter, losing his job to Williams. And I hate to say it, it might be time to part ways with Michael Deiter. The Deiter project last year at the center position was a disaster. You drafted him as a guard out of Wisconsin. He started there for a year. He was terrible, like a 42 PFF grade. The guy can't stay healthy, so he's not good at guard or center, and he can't stay healthy. It might be time to part ways with this guy. He's quickly becoming a cut candidate on this football team. But Connor Williams is also a loser of training camp because reports are not awesome out of camp in terms of him snapping the football. This is what Sports Illustrated said about Saturday's practice. And what is becoming an alarming trend, Connor Williams had 2 more high shotgun snaps. One came on a running play and disrupted the timing of the handoff from Tua to Chase Edmonds. So multiple high shotgun snaps is what we're hearing when it comes to Williams. And yeah, he hasn't set one over to his head yet, which I've been pleasantly surprised with, but as a center, you got to have every single snap on the money. 99.9% of your snaps have to be on the money. If they're not, the play is disrupted. It'll go for a loss. It puts Tua in a tough spot. But how stubborn is Chris Greer? I mean, I said at the start of the offseason, if you need to sign a center, but if Michael Deiter's your guy, if you want to give him another chance, I respect that. They clearly did not believe in Michael Deiter because they benched him for Williams, who has no experience at the position. Now Deiter is injured. You have no depth at this position whatsoever. Nobody on your roster right now has any center experience with Deiter not on the field. He's injured, so nobody that is participating in training camp has any experience snapping the football. That is a massive, massive problem. Here's what Mike McDaniel said about Williams. We think this is a good offensive lineman who can play multiple positions. That's why those types of signings are intriguing. He will do everything to do the best he can at that position, but if the team is better off with him at another position, he's learning the offense from inside and out to be in the best position to do that, which is the center position. It feels like Mike McDaniel, just based on this quote, is trying to talk himself into Williams playing center, but I don't know if that's working. Percent chance that Connor is the starting center week 1. Go down in the comments section and let me know. I think we're all rooting against that possibility, but it is looking more likely than not that Connor Williams will be starting under center for the Fins. Let's talk about Igbo. No Igbinoghene. He's a loser from training camp, and that's not because he's performing poorly, but he's having to cover Tyreek Hill on every single play during training camp with Byron Jones being out. I mean, I feel bad for Igbinoghene, man. It's certainly a little bit of a mismatch, but at the same time, I think that this is making him better. He's getting to go up against arguably the best wide receiver in football, definitely the fastest wide receiver in football. So this is a learning experience for him. It's making him better. He's improving. So I think overall it's a good thing, but he's a loser because he's getting burned by Tyreek on like every single play during training camp. Let's talk about Teddy Bridgewater, who hasn't looked great. And we talked about him not looking great throughout OTAs, kind of the same trend here. In terms of what I've read, he's kind of struggled during training camp. Now, it's interesting because he sat out of team drills during practice today with an undisclosed injury. We do not know what that injury is. It appears to be very minor because he still was a limited participant in training camp practice today. I'd be a little bit more concerned had he not participated at all, but because he was out, Skylar Thompson took second-team reps. But I think Teddy's fine. I don't think this injury is anything to worry about. Yeah, it's undisclosed. We don't know anything about it, but he still participated outside of the team drills from training camp today. So he's going to be fine. Yeah, he's kind of struggling a little bit right now, but I think he'll be fine, and I'm looking forward to watching him in preseason games. But the narrative that he's going to take to his job is just baloney. Thanks for watching Dolphins Today. Appreciate you all watching and subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, let's change that. Go down, hit that big red sub button.